Here's an interesting sort of sidebar story, and because of AI and how your brain works, you could take a star in one sport and plug him into another sport. So Davante Adams on Dan Patrick's show talking about LeBron being an NFL player. Take a listen.
He would have been one of the best receivers, tight ends all time, no question. I don't know if you ever seen him play football.
I saw him play a high school.
Yeah, he can fly too. That's the thing. He's one of the fastest NBA players probably all time. I've never seen somebody cover space on a basketball court. Maybe John Wall, Derrick Rose, something like that.
Interesting premise, right?
It certainly is. I mean, I don't doubt he could have been
whatever
really
he wanted
good at anything.
Yeah.
Put a baseball bat in his hand. If he grew up loving baseball, he'd probably be a damn good baseball player. But I mean, the one thing I would say about this, though, let's give respect to football guys. Like, there's basketball tough, which is not that tough, and then there's football tough, and that's tough.
Right.
Well, it's contact in every play.
Yeah, exactly. And like fighting through contact. And I mean, I'd imagine it like LeBron James at 6'9", 250, he would have been a tight end, right? Like that's the position that LeBron James would have played. You got to block too. You got to block. You're going to have to chip against guys like Myles Garrett. Is he willing to do that? I don't know. That'd be very difficult to do. That man's an absolute monster. So, but he probably could have been, if he set his sights to it and said, I want to play in the NFL instead of the NBA, probably could have played in the league, I would think.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. He would be very good at whatever he wanted to do, and he has been. Let's bring in Dave Naylor, our CFL NFL insider. Dave, welcome. How are you? And we're sort of doing the LeBron thing based on Davante Adams and Dan Patrick saying if LeBron played football, he would have been a stud. Do you do that with athletes? You sort of look at them and go, what if this guy was in this sport?
Oh, yeah, certainly, especially when you're not only projecting them what sport, but when you're applying it to football, what position, right? Because football is so position-specific, I guess, more than any other sport, maybe than baseball if you include pitcher. But, okay, so where would LeBron play? Well, I think he would have made an outstanding tight end. The ball skills, the physicality, the burst, I mean, he's got tight end, which is, of course, the sport that guys do transition out of basketball to football with. Like Antonio Gates, one of the great tight ends in NFL history, never played college football. He was a basketball player, and there are other guys that were more basketball than football guys that have gone all into that. I mean, the other position I think you could see him at is at defensive end, and that's a common. In amateur football, you see that a lot, right? The guys are tight ends / D ends. And you could see LeBron coming off the edge again with those hands, swim moves, that length. Oh, man, I'm getting excited, guys.
But Naylor, I was saying, okay, it's one thing to have the physical skills and the frame and the athleticism, and then there's one other ingredient. And for a guy who has sometimes been nicknamed La Flop, I'm not sure LeBron would have the football toughness. How do you know if a guy's football tough, I guess, is the question.
Well, I mean, part of the flopping, whether it's in basketball or football, is like to gain an advantage, right? Which you don't get that a lot in football because the game's so physical. But I mean, I think honestly, physicality, toughness in football comes from competitiveness. You can't play this game competitively and not be physical. And I think, LeBron may have been an artistic flopper at different times in his career. He's also a pretty competitive athlete, and that's, I think, the side we see if he was playing football.